Hi, and welcome back to the challenge. So today I want to go a little bit deeper into this idea of the sacral plexus and the brachial plexus, your arm, neck nerves, etc. So when we first start practicing, we're mostly interested in, as I mentioned earlier in the series, just getting things right. Like, okay, I put my arm here, I turn this way, this is this, and this is going to protect this joint. Okay, good, I got the structure. But eventually we want to start to deepen that and be able to feel what's happening in the energetic flow in the body. In Ashtanga yoga, that I practiced for years, the primary series, that's just like teaching you how to move and get everything going. Then the secondary series, or the intermediate series, is called Nadi Shodhana, or nerve cleansing. So this idea that we can actually enhance the flow of the nerves, get them to fire, get them to flow where they're stuck in scar tissue or blocked in tight or weak muscles, they won't be able to move well. And so we want to start to access that feeling, and that's what we're going to look for today. So the brachial plexus is the plexus of nerves right here at the base of the neck, runs through the shoulders, out through the hands, and then the sacral plexus in your sacrum lower back, running down through your hips towards your knee. Some nerves run down all the way. And you want to think of, when we're doing this, reaching out from these areas through the fingers, from the sacrum out through the toe tips. We're going to start with a little shoulder warm up, and then we're going to warm up our hips. And we're just going to feel that the movement is flowing from these areas when we go to do it. So let's begin with a brief seated meditation. Sit up straight and tall. Bring your hands to your knees, and then start to release the thigh bones back into the socket and take the sacrum in and up, but without hardening it, without straining. If my sacrum sinks back, my whole body sinks. So as I draw the knees in, tip the sacrum in, fill your chest up, move your shoulder blades in, again without straining, and feel that you're broad through the neck nerves, through the collarbones, tops of the blades into the shoulders. Then let your hands rest gently and take 3 conscious breaths here, eyes closed. Feel the energy flowing through your whole body. Feel your breath move in through your nose, down through the back of the palate, all the way down past your navel towards the root of the pelvis. Feel the lungs fully expand, horizontally, the whole rib cage open out to the sides. And as you breathe out, feel the rib cage move back in and down. As you breathe in, feel the breath draw down, but the energy moving evenly throughout your whole body, not getting trapped in any of the joints. And breathe out. Especially feel your chronically stuck spots, painful areas, like the breath can move through there. You're breathing, drawing life force energy into those areas, allowing them to open their blocks so that prana can help to heal. And as you breathe out, grounding, releasing, giving up any tension you don't need to hold. Then open your eyes, but keep your focus inward. Bring your knuckles to your temples. And as you exhale, draw your elbows in. Inhale, open up. Exhale, draw elbows in. Inhale, open up. Exhale, draw elbows in. Inhale, open up. Then stretch your arms straight out to the side. And again, visualize the flow of the nerves out through the tension in the shoulders, out through the elbows, out through the fingers. Curl the fingers in, turn the thumbs back, and start to make little circles with your arms. But feel that the energy can flow through the tight parts in the shoulder and the neck, almost like you're flowing the tension from the neck out through the fingers. And then turn the thumbs in and make little internal circles. Again, flowing the tension out through the knuckles. I go cross-eyed when I really focus. Good. And then last one, bend your elbows, reach up, inhale. Exhale, pull down to the side, squeeze in the back of the armpit, open up your chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull, squeeze those muscles. Then bring your fingertips to your side. Take your right arm up, and as you crawl your right fingers over, sit down through your left hip. Take a deep breath into your left side ribs. And let it out. Come back up. Take your right arm up. Reach over. Take a deep breath. And let it out. Come back up. One more seated stretch here before we get going for the neck. Let your right ear tip over towards your right shoulder. And then smooth the tension from the side of your neck down through your shoulder, out through your elbow, out through your fingers. Tip your nose towards your chest a bit. Feel the stretch go up the back side of that tight neck muscle. Tip your nose forward again. Bring your head back up on top. Roll your left ear over towards your left shoulder. And send the tension from the side of your neck down through your shoulder, out through your elbow, out through your fingers. Turn your nose. Back to center. Head back up. Shavasana. No, I'm kidding. Okay, now come onto your hands and your knees. So taking this like calm, open feeling as we start to build heat. Find neutral. Not cat, not cow, right in the middle. Feel your shoulder blades broad and on your back as you push into your hands. Lift your knees up just an inch. Unlock the elbows and the wrists. Feel the energy flow from your neck, from the tops of the blades into the fingers, from the collarbones wide. Feel your inner arms like pillars, super strong. Then as you plug your navel in, pull your hips up. Lift up high onto your tiptoes. Lower your knees down. Stretch your buttock back to your heels. Come back up. Find your pillars. Lift up just an inch. Push into your hands. Wake up your core. Pull your hips straight up. Stretch back into down dog. Raise your right leg up behind you. Inhale. Integrate your core. Keep your ribs plugged in. Notice the ribs wanting to sink to the hands. Draw your front bottom ribs back towards your hips. Exhale your knee to your right armpit. Inhale, stretch back up. Exhale to your left pit. Inhale back up. Exhale, knee to chest. Stretch the leg back, plank pose. Downward facing dog. Oh, dude, Ollie is freaking out right now. Deliveries and stuff happen in the neighborhood. Raise your left leg up, inhale. Exhale, knee to your left armpit. Ollie, come here, it's okay. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale to your right pit. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, knee to your chest. Stretch your leg back, plank pose. Downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. As you inhale, slide your hands up your shins, make a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach down through your feet, raise your arms up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, make a flat back. Step back into plank pose. Bring your right knee up to your right armpit. And now I want you to feel in your right outer buttock, feel that muscle squeeze and engage, and then pull your knee up an inch higher. Then as you inhale, slide your knee down. Exhale, pull it back up out to the side like a dog going pee on a fire hydrant. Squeeze in the outer butt. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, pull it back up, squeeze. Lower back down. Then lift up to your chest. Round your back like cat-cow. Step your foot up by your right thumb. Come up onto your fingertips, lengthen your spine. Then set up your back heel like a warrior two back leg. Bring your right hand up onto your shin or ankle, left hand onto your hip. You can use a block too if you have your block handy. Now let those sacral roots open up again. If you're jammed way down, they won't be able to open. So come up high enough so you could feel the length through the spine, the opening up. Reach into your back heel, take your left arm up. Press down through the four corners of your feet. Then bring your left hand down, spin your back heel up, compact your outer hips, lift your navel, float your arms back behind you. Turn the thumbs out, feel your blades plug onto your back. Remember when you're engaging your external rotators, pressing out into the strap. Right thigh bone deeper into the socket. Stretch your collarbones forward. Then plant your hands down. Step back into plank pose. Lower slowly into low plank position. Knees down or not, your call. Lift back up into plank. Stretch back into downward facing dog. Inhale into plank pose. Bring your left knee up. And as you lift it up towards your left outer elbow, now turn on your external rotator in your hip, so squeeze and lift the knee up. Inhale, lower the knee towards the ground. Exhale, lift it out to the side, squeeze it up. Inhale, lower slow. Don't lock your wrist to your elbows, keep your belly up. Exhale, pull back up. Now really squeeze, get that one more inch up. Ooh, feel it in your outer hip. Lower back down. Now round your back, pull up. Push the floor down, but keep your shoulders right over your heel of your hand. Step your foot up by your thumb. Come up onto your fingertips. Turn your back heel down like a warrior two back leg. And then bring your hand up high enough so you can open up your chest without closing your low back. So I can feel the more I try to jam my chest open, the more the tendency will come from my back. Instead, grow your spine. So lengthen, breathe down through your central channel. Wake up Sushumna Nadi. And feel the balance of energy. Take your arm up. Not overdoing, not underdoing. Feel the flow from your neck through your fingers and from your sacrum down through your toes. Spread through your toes. Then bring your hand down, spin your back heel up, drive into the center of your left heel, left thigh bone deep into the hip socket, pin your hips out of your lower back as you stretch your arms back. Fire your core muscles. Bring your hands back down. Step into plank pose. Optional chaturanga push-up. Downward facing dog, stretch back. So also notice as you're stretching in down dog, your body will want to sink into the area where it's weak and stiff, which is in the lower back for most people. So keep your rib cage plugged in. Now turn your triceps down and free up the neck through the reach of your arms. Now grow your sacral roots down through your hips, down through your knees, down through your ankles into your toe tips. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, reach down through your feet, raise your arms. Exhale, Samasthiti. So even the way you're stretching your arms, don't let your ribs sink forward, which will cram your lower back. Raise your arms, keeping the rib cage and your waist deep, keeping your core engaged, fold forward. Inhale, same thing here as you come into the flat back. Scoop your belly up to your chest so you're not compressing your lower back to find the length. Step back into plank pose. Shift forward, especially here as you lower to chaturanga. Keep your glutes engaged, your middle in. Pause and come back up without the middle sinking. Downward facing dog. So it's fine, like after midnight, you could let it all hang out. But for now, I want you to keep the middle in while we're stretching the body. So you can feel the nerves flow. As soon as you unplug from the core, you're not going to get that flow of energy. Step or hop your feet up to the front of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step into plank pose. Lower into chaturanga. Engage your core. Lift up. Stretch back into downward facing dog. And just remember, if you need to learn that with the knees down, practicing the chaturanga with knees down, that's better than doing a sloppy one, letting your middle hang, letting your head hang, shoulders collapsing, etc. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back. Step back and lower slow into chaturanga. Inhale into cobra pose. Grow your hips out of your lower back. Press the pinky toes down as your inner knees lift up. Roll your outer armpits towards your heels. Press into the hands into the mat, but stretch your chest forward instead of trying to lift. Now keep the extension through the thoracic spine and hold here or roll up into upward facing dog. So because of this tendency to sink in the lumbar, the up dog can start to put strain on your lumbar. So if that's the case, stretch back, downward dog. You can practice the cobras instead, or you can skip the back bend entirely and just press back up into plank. Step your right foot up by your right thumb. Set up your back heel. Inhale into warrior one, raise your arms up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, up dog, or plank, your call. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your left foot up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, up dog or plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hide your inner heels behind you. Grow your arms from the brachial nerves. Grow your legs from the sacral nerves. As you exhale, feel your navel plug back to your spine. Feel the back of the navel open. Look forward, step or float up. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, chair pose. Stand, samastiti. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back and lower, chaturanga. Inhale, plank, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot, warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Lift up out of your sacrum, lower back, back thigh tall. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot. Warrior one. Ride your breath up, but don't sink into it. Lift through your back thigh, lift through your lower back, grow your arms. And see if your left thigh will go a little deeper without sinking into your low back. Step back, chaturanga. Cobra, up dog or plank. Downward facing dog. Look in between your hands. Step or float up. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Stand, samastiti. Inhale into chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Step or float back into chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, up dog or plank. Exhale, downward dog. Step your, shift into plank pose. Set your elbows down onto the floor. Hold here. Lift, plug up in your middle. Spread your blades. Right knee to your right armpit. Now squeeze that outer butt, lift the knee up high. Inhale, tap it down. Exhale, pull up. Inhale, tap it down. Exhale, pull up. Change legs. Left knee up. Squeeze up. Inhale, tap down. Exhale, squeeze up. Inhale, tap down. Exhale, squeeze up. Step the leg back. Come up into plank on your hands. Then pull your right knee up to your chest. Step your foot up by your thumb. Turn your back heel down and come up into warrior two. Place your hands on your hips for a moment. Level your hips and grow through your crown right up over top of your hips. Now that same muscle that you're feeling engaged in your right outer hip, feel that start to turn on so you can turn your thigh out, but don't be as deep as you can when you get it to turn on. Come out of it a little bit, that'll help you. If you're in range, it's a little too gnarly on your joint to try to get that action. Open across your sacrum, through your glutes, through your hips, out through your knees, out through your toes. And open from the base of the back of the neck and the throat through the hands. Then straighten your right leg. Tip your pelvis out over your thigh and place your hand down, shin, ankle, blocker floor. Reach into the center right heel bone, big toe and little toe mound. Let your right hip crease deepen towards your back heel as you breathe the core of the spine long. Reach into those points in your right foot. Grow your back heel. Then bend your right knee. Hook your left arm behind your back to your outer hip. And as you guide that right outer hip crease back, deepen the right thigh, draw your navel up, and maybe take your right arm forward. Don't let the head hang. Don't go into slouchasana. Keep your heart, core of the heart lifted. Then bring your hands down. Spin your back heel up. Step back into plank pose. Take a vinyasa, or just stretch right back into down dog. Shift into plank pose. Set your elbows down. Oh, Jesus, again. Bring your left knee up. Squeeze up. Tap down. Squeeze up. Tap down. Squeeze up. Change legs. Right knee up. Squeeze up. Tap down. Squeeze up. Tap down. Squeeze up. Stretch back. Come into plank on your hands. Bring your left knee up. Step your foot up. Warrior two. Then hands to your hips for a moment. Lift out of the pose a bit. And then feel that same muscle start to work, turning your thigh out. Feel the outer left hip start to turn on to get the knee to turn. And then slowly start to go deeper, but just feel the deeper you go, the more the back of the navel wants to close. Instead, open the back of the navel, open the sacrum, get wider in your lower back right here. And then spread your arms through the stretch, through the energy, through the base of the neck and the throat. Don't jam the back, don't jam the front. And try not to lock the energy in any of your joints. Don't overdo from the joint. Feel like there's space in the joint. Joint is spacious, muscles are long. If you reach too aggressively, you'll get a stuck feeling. The joint will feel like it's closed. If you keep the joint open, you'll feel a more infinite quality in the pose. Then straighten your leg, tip from your pelvis out over your thigh. Feel this left thigh go deeper into the hip socket. Right thigh plugging in too, so you're not just sinking. Place your hand, stretch your right arm. Now stretch through the muscles, down through the toes, heel, big toe, little toe mound. Left hip crease deeper. Grow the back leg, breathe the core of the spine tall. Then bend that knee, wrap your right arm, hook to your outer hip, press into the center of your left heel. Now, without slouching, see if you can draw the navel up and take your arm forward. If it's too much on your lower back, just keep your hand down. Bring your hand down and back to the mat. Spin your back heel up. Step back into plank pose. Take a vinyasa or stretch right back into downward facing dog. Step your right foot. Warrior two. Inhale, come up. Straighten your leg and reach into triangle. Bend your right knee, step into Ardha Chandrasana. As you ground through the heel, feel that outer buttock engage, which will help you to open up and twist. Outer butt, if it just hangs lazy, then the pelvis will hang. You'll just be sinking into the joint. Instead, press into the foot, engage right outer hip, like we were practicing. And from that fulcrum, start to spin the body open. Reach through your back heel, breathe. Then slowly, with control, lower your left hand down and level your hips. Lower your left leg to meet your right. Bring your hands to your hips and come up to stand. Then cross your right ankle just above your left knee. Arms forward, start to sit back like you're sitting in a chair. Stretch the buttock back, keeping the hip on track with its ankle. Then hold here for 5 breaths, strong in this pose, or hook your elbows, or practice sliding the shin up into the arms, hands down. Hold here, or you can go into flying pigeon if you like. Last 2 breaths. And come back up to stand. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back into down dog or take a vinyasa. Step your left foot. Warrior two. Inhale, come up. Straighten your left leg and reach into Trikonasana. Bend your knee, slide your hand and foot in front of your pinky toe, and raise your back leg up. Connect into the foot evenly. Now engage that left outer hip that we were practicing squeezing, and from that start to open up your body. Slowly with control, lower your hand down, level your hips, lower your right leg next to your left and fold. Place your hands on your hips and come up to stand. Cross your left ankle, arms forward, start to sit back. Hold here for 5 breaths, or go elbows to shin. Hold there, or slide the arms deeper, hands down. Hold there, or if you practiced on the other side, go into flying pigeon. Last 2 breaths, whichever one you're working on. Come back up to stand. Mountain pose. Inhale, raise your arms up. Now lift your heels up too. Arms forward. Start to sit back like you're sitting in a chair. Hold there, or as long as the knees can handle it, lower the buttocks all the way to the heels. Practice Malasana, or if the Malasane's coming really well and you feel like you're super deep in your squat already, then you might be able to try Bakasana. Lean into crow pose. Step or float back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Look in between your hands. Step your right foot up. Set up your back heel for warrior 1. Inhale, come up. Then bring your hands behind your back. Grab your opposite elbows. Straighten your right leg. Adjust the back foot closer if needed. Then with your shoulders and your chest open, start to tip out over your right leg. Notice the tendency to wobble on the foot. Keep stretching down evenly through the center heel, big toe, and little toe mound. Feel the pressure of your forearm in your back, reminding you to lengthen that part of the spine instead of hunching it to go deeper. Then inhale into a flat back, arms back. Bring your fingertips down and raise your back leg up. Level your hips, level your waist, turn on your core, and maybe float your arms back behind you without your hips twisting open to the left. Step back into warrior 1. Bring your hands down and stretch back into down dog, or take a vinyasa. Step your left foot. Inhale, come up, warrior 1. Bring your hands behind your back. Grab opposite elbows, other hand on top this time. Back foot comes a little closer. And fold forward out over your leg. Inhale, find a flat back. Arms straight back. Then bring the fingertips down. Step your back leg up. Lift the back leg up to hip height, fingers out in front of your shoulders. Level your hips. Compact the hips out of the lower back, and as you lift your belly, maybe float your arms back. Bend your leg, step back into warrior one. Bring your hands down and step back into down dog, or take a vinyasa. Step or float up to the front of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Bring hands to prayer, sit into chair. Twist, take your left elbow to your right knee. So aim your sit bones straight back, telescope the spine forward. Especially make sure that you're not slouching over from your head, cramming up your neck nerves. Then shift your weight over into your right foot. Slide your left leg back, crescent twist. Bring your right hand to your hip. Put your left hand down a foot in front of your foot. Block or floor your call. Raise your back leg up. Then spin from your left side lower belly up towards your right shoulder as you take your right arm up. But don't let your back leg drop. Lift it up to hip height. Push back like you're pushed into a wall. Aim your crown straight ahead. Lengthen through the core of your heart. You're good. Fold forward. Lower your right hand. Raise your back leg up. Then lower your left leg to meet your right. Hands to hips. Come up to stand. Inhale your arms up. Bring hands to prayer. Sit into chair. Twist to your left. Right shin draws back, sit bones aim straight back, head forward. Then look down, weight over into your left foot, step your right leg back. Put your left hand on your hip, slide your right hand a foot in front of your foot, and raise your back leg up. As you twist, lift from your belly, don't let your back leg sink to turn your arm and chest up. Reach through that back leg, grow forward through the crown of the head, through the core of your heart. Flow your sacral roots out through your hips, out through your feet. Especially on that left buttock, don't let it flare out to the side. Pin it towards your back heel, outer left buttock. Bring your hand down. And lower your leg down. Inhale into a flat back. Then sit your buttock to the ground for boat pose. See if you can start to straighten the legs without sinking back. Lower into low boat pose. Then bring your right leg up, hands up and over to the outside of the right leg. Hold your lower belly in as you lower your right leg away from you. And bring it back up. Lower away from you. And back up. Change sides. Hold your left side lower belly in as you stretch the leg away from you. Back up. Lower away from you. Bring it back up. Bring both legs up. Lower your head down, arms to the side like cactus arms. And then lower both legs slowly a third of the way. Lower back long, neck long. See if you can lower another third of the way without the lower back lifting up. Bring your legs straight up. Lower a third of the way. Lower another third of the way. Buttocks out of your lower back. Push the buttocks. Lower one more inch. Hug your abs in. Come back up. Last one. Lower a third of the way. Push your hips out of your back. Tuck your buttocks. Lower another third of the way. Lower one more inch. Legs up. Then hands behind your head. Tuck the pubic bone into the chest and push the tail straight up. And then crunch up and hold for 10. Good. Lower your feet down, open your arms to the side, let your knees swivel over to the right as you look over to your left. Change sides, knees to the left as you look over to your right. Come back to center, hug your knees in, roll up, pick up and float back into chaturanga, or just step right back into down dog. Then if you have a wall at home and you like to practice preparation for a handstand, or you can do down dog on your forearms at this point, or you can do standing legs wide apart forward fold. We're gonna hold for 1 minute. If you got the wall, you're just gonna measure yourself a leg's distance away from the wall, plant your hands down, and then take your legs up the wall. Keep the external rotation in your arms. Keep your knees bent at first so you can plug your ribs in and feel your spine length. And then see if you can start to lift your hips up. So if you want to learn more about that, I put the handstand course, which is the whole course to learn how to do handstand, headstand, and forearm balance. That's in the conscious movement community, and that's free for the next 2 weeks. So while you're in quarantine, take advantage of that. And also you can check out the arm balance course in there, which teaches you all the arm balance stuff, like the flying pigeon stuff. We go into the technique, the muscles you need to stretch, the muscles you need to strengthen to get into that. Okay, so come back down and stretch back into downward facing dog. Then knees down, Virasana or Supta Virasana. Virasana, Supta Virasana preparation. On the hands, roll your chest open, or go onto your elbows or lie flat. If it's too much on your knees, just come into a low lunge. Right foot forward, left knee down. Lungers, change legs. Left foot forward, right knee down. and then release. Come onto your back. Bring your heels close to your buttock, feet hip distance apart. Roll the hips up. Now lift up from the outer hips, draw the front hip bones towards each other. And then as long as it's okay on your knees, we're going to do this variation called Chatushpadasana, where you grab a hold of the ankles and roll your shoulder heads down without hardening your neck or your jaw or your low back. Again, if it's too much pressure on your knees or your lower back, just take your feet forward. Don't worry about holding your ankles. Lower yourself back down. Now repeat that pose or go up into wheel pose or Vidyanurasana. 5 more breaths. Lower your buns back down. Take Baddha Konasana legs. Stretch your arms straight up. And hook your thumbs, slowly reach your arms back. Open the skin on your lower back and back ribs as your arms fall back. Don't let that skin narrow. Now wrap the front ribs in and down, each front side rib towards its own or towards its opposite front pocket. So right front ribs to the left pocket, left front ribs to the right pocket. Soften your lower back, like right where the love handles are. Soften that area. Let it open. Bring your arms back up. Bring your knees together. Gently bring your knees to your chest. Take happy baby, reach the insides of the knees, hook the big toes. Instead of trying to pull down, just think of stretching the hips out of the lower back, find the traction. If you want to go deeper, you can hook the outside of the foot instead of the big toe. Then hug your knees into your chest, roll yourself up to seated. Sit with your legs wide apart. Twist to your right. Let the thighs descend as you breathe your spine tall. Twist to your left. Twist to your right. And then as you release your navel towards your spine, start to slide your left hand towards your foot. Maybe even grab a hold. Come back up. Change sides. Inhale back up. Then lie down onto your back for Shavasana, corpse pose. So you can hang out in regular corpse, or you can do a supported variation, Baddha Konasana legs with blocks or pillows under your knees. Or if you don't have blocks or pillows, you can let them hang. And then we can do this chest opener variation where you drop your elbows to the side and let the arms start to open up like cactus arms. I, of course, have the tightest shoulders on earth from all the surfing that I do, so my hands don't fall down, but let your hands start to fall towards the ground, but without your rib cage puffing. Now visualize those energy centers, neck, pelvis opening up. And then visualize their place from the spine, growing out through the limbs. If it's too intense of a stretch, you can release the stretch and do regular Shavasana. Then gently bring your knees together. Roll over onto your side and press up. Next, let's practice the Nadi Shodhana, but this time we're going to try to practice with Ujjayi Pranayama. So making a slight constriction in the back of your throat so your breath makes sound like a as you breathe out. We'll try to make that sound as you breathe in and out. Then take your right hand and curl your middle finger and index finger right into this circular semicircle crease at the root of the thumb, and then join the thumb, ring, and pinky finger together. Pinky and ring finger will plug the top of the left nostril right into this little crease right here where it starts to go into the bone. If you just plug your finger, feel your finger can fit right into that little crease. You don't have to plug the whole nostril. So plug the left side nostril as you sit up tall, tip your chin towards your chest. Breathe out. Ujjayi breath in through the right. Plug the right out through the left, letting go of any strain in the energy centers we're focused on, but spine upright. Breathe in through the left. Plug out through the right. In through the right. Plug out through the left. In through the left. Plug out through the right. Let go of that. Drop your hand. Namaste. So I encourage you now to take a few minutes in Shavasana. Just let everything relax. If you have more time, you want to do more of the breath practice, that's cool too. But we'll stop the video here. Thank you so much for joining me in this series. I really hope that you're enjoying it. And leave your feedback below as to the difficulty level of today's class. If you felt like it was too much or just right, love to hear your feedback. Also, click that like button, share with a friend if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your day.